Now, moving on to the Cronos specific news here. First of all, there is a big update coming to the Cronos network on May 10th, so we can expect that to come into effect as of Tuesday. And this is an upgrade that I am looking forward to. And if you want the in-depth details about why this upgrade will be so important, do go ahead and check out our video regarding these updates that I break down, and I will leave it in the description down below. However, it is aiming to bring the following enhancements, hoping to increase chain capacity by a factor of 2x a few weeks after the upgrade, making data retrieval and transaction processing more efficient. The Cronos Explorer will become more accurate and easier for developers and infrastructure partners to monitor and index events on chain, and Cronos will introduce variable transaction fees, also known as a fee market, adjusting based on the network utilization. And this upgrade will lead to on-chain growth acceleration with improved efficiency and scalability. And in a huge milestone here for Crypto.com, even with all the FUD and bearishness in these past 2 weeks, Crypto.com has passed the 50 million user mark. And why it matters is because that is more than a 5-fold increase from the last time Crypto.com disclosed its user stats in late 2020. And CEO Chris Marzalek says he expects the number to hit 100 million by the end of the year. And one big difference between Crypto.com and larger volume rivals like Coinbase and FTX is that Marzalek's company has grown without ever taking an outside investment. And what this shows is a lot of strength internally within the company. And while they don't want to rule out eventually taking funding or even going public, that is a stock that I would be all over, by the way, if they ever went public. He wants to wait until the company is better able to withstand market pressures, meaning diversifying a revenue stream that is currently being dominated by trading fees into other areas like crypto payment infrastructure. And we will be watching as Crypto.com should get a lot of brand recognition this weekend as the title sponsor of the Formula One race in Miami, and then over the summer as the FIFA World Cup sponsor. Now, in another very important upgrade to the Crypto.com app, one that is already featured on the exchange, but that I do think will bring more popularity to the main app itself, is the introduction of target price orders. So that includes limit buys and limit sells. And the latest app innovation is limited right now to Android users in the US. Sorry, not in the US, in Australia. However, I would expect this to expand into the US and on a global scale in the upcoming months, and definitely a necessary feature for any crypto platform, in my opinion. Now, moving on here to MMF Finance, okay? We did see some unfortunate news with this DEX once again, and they just cannot catch a break, it would appear. Keep in mind, though, that the last problem they did actually come across with the rug pull on their DEX was completely their fault, as they did actually allow these bad faith actors to launch on their DEX, and then these bad faith actors went ahead and pulled the rug from their community. What we actually saw here was an external hack, and MM Finance, I have to say, despite all of the flaws, they absolutely did handle this situation very well, in my opinion. They tweeted right away asking all their customers to refrain from doing anything on their sites, as they suspect that there was a front-end breach where hackers were stealing funds from people who were attempting to withdraw or deposit onto the platform. These hackers were interrupting these withdrawals and deposits and actually taking the funds into their own wallets. So, in response to what happened here, MM Finance actually released some significant compensation. And what they did here is that they promised to reimburse all members who were actually impacted by this hack, and they are going to go ahead and then place all the MUSD, which is their very own stable coin, and they're going to go ahead and airdrop this to the people who were impacted by this hack. They say that the wallet addresses will be added into the compensation pool, which will run for 45 days. And they ended off by saying that they take this attack very seriously and will ensure to do their best moving forward to eradicate such vectors, and they will also be compensating 100% of the funds that were lost. So while the hack itself was unfortunate, I definitely do like to see the team stepping up and actually compensating all their users who were impacted. Now, there are two platforms on the Cronos chain that I do want to discuss real quick before we get into the weekly growth statistics. And the first one here is Ibisu's Bay, the Cronos NFT platform, actually hitting the 100K milestones of NFTs being sold not long after implementing the make an offer upgrade. So the team behind this project is working to continuously improve this platform, and I would expect it to continue to dominate as the #1 NFT platform on the Cronos chain moving forward. And as we will see by the growth statistics cited near the end of this video, they are actually absolutely going through a very strong growth phase right now. And last but not least, what I do want to keep an eye on here is Argo liquid staking. Now, you guys know, if you've been with the channel for a while, that I am a fan of liquid staking with protocols that can be trusted. I am currently liquid staking my HBAR for about 55% APY. It's been locked up for a couple of weeks, and I've already earned like upwards of 3% on my HBAR in just a matter of like 20 days. So this APY will not be as impressive. However, what they are offering here is a 12.36% APY on your CRO. So very, very similar to the DeFi wallet that it is offering. However, the difference between staking and liquid staking is that when you stake your CRO through Argo, you are actually going to receive B CRO in return, which you can then use to earn additional DeFi yields while also earning from your CRO in this pool. So I will be keeping an eye on Argo as they launch. I do want to review the white paper and make sure this is a legitimate platform, but if it is one that can be trusted, I will absolutely be taking advantage of this liquid staking feature to essentially earn on my CRO in multiple different platforms while it is locked up and being staked to earn me that interest. Now, for my favorite part of the weekly market update, we are going to go through some of the growth statistics that we have seen out of the Cronos chain this previous week. And for starters, what we can see here is that Cronos is the month's most popular chain in terms of total unique addresses being added, coming in at 41.26%. Then we got Phantom in second place at only 10.72%. So Cronos outpacing Phantom by about 4x in terms of total unique addresses of top EVM blockchains. Then we got Avalanche in third with 9.25%. BNB chain in fourth with 5.34%. So Cronos outpacing BNB chain here in total unique addresses by about 8x. And then Polygon and Ethereum coming in at about 1.5%. And this statistic here is the weekly performance and social dominance of top popular blockchains. And we can see that Cronos is the most talked about blockchain at the moment, increasing 178.5% compared to Polygon at 16% and Avalanche at 3%. And the rest of these blockchains here coming in the negative percentile. So Cronos has absolutely been gaining traction on social media. And while many may not see this as important, I do see it as very important, as the name of the game is very simple. We want CRO to be the #1 centralized exchange, and then we want the Cronos chain to actually become a top 5 DeFi chain, and raising that social awareness will be very important to that aspect, and that is why we do keep an eye on the social dominance of the Cronos chain. And that is just a repeat of the same graph. Okay, so here we can actually see the monthly growth rate and total transactions of top EVM blockchains. And the reason that I do actually like this graph when you line it up with the total unique addresses that we have here is because it shows that there is a 41.26% growth rate in unique addresses, as well as a 41.01% growth rate in total transactions, which kind of signals to me that all of these people who are signing up for the Cronos chain are also going ahead and actually exploring what the Cronos chain has to offer. And to me, this is very important that people not only, sign up for the Cronos chain, create their wallet address, but actually get involved in the ecosystem. And that is what is going to support the longevity of this platform. So I do think it's really interesting how the total unique addresses and the total transactions actually line up pretty much perfectly. And I do see that as a very, very bullish sign for the Cronos chain. Now, another really important thing to look at when we are looking at DeFi chain is the growth of their top dexes, as this does drive the total value locked of the chain upwards. And what we can see here is that even despite this unfortunate rug pull that did happen on MMF the past month, it is still running at a monthly growth rate of 50% compared to QuickSwap on Polygon in second place with 26%, and then Uniswap in third place with 1.93%, and all of these other dexes, including popular ones like Trader Joe on AVAX, actually in the negative 15 percentile. So MMF is continuing to assert its position as the king of growing dexes, as it is still in its very early phases, and although it has been a rocky road, I would expect this growth to continue moving forward as long as the team does stay active and at least address the issues that do arise with the platform as they do come up. And speaking of the NFT marketplaces, I told you guys to remember Ibisu Bay hitting that important milestone. And what we can see here is that it is growing at a daily growth rate in volume at 64%. So on a day-to-day basis, the transaction volume is growing by 64.73%. That is absolutely nothing to laugh at, guys. That is insane compared to Magic Eden on Solana at 4.17%, Gem at 3.73%, and then we got OpenSea actually going downwards at negative 20%. And I mean, that's obviously because OpenSea is a very mature platform at this point, but what we can see is that Ibisu is real proof that NFTs on the Cronos chain are becoming more and more popular with time. And we can also see the daily sales volume running at a very similar growth rate of 72.85%, which would make sense as the majority of the volume going into this platform would be NFT sales by assumption. Now, to wrap up this video, we are going to take a look at the Cronos TVL. So let's just refresh because this tab has been open overnight, and boom, we actually have come down from that 2.71 bill down to 2.67 bill. Now, keep in mind that if we do take a look at all the chains, I mean, they have pretty much all experienced pretty significant pullbacks this month. So Cronos has been hit pretty hard at 33%, but we can see here Phantom coming down by 36%. Tron is actually the only one that did move up about 10%. Solana down 17%, AVAX 20%, BNB Smart Chain 16%, Terra 22%, and Ethereum 16%. So Cronos is not the only chain that has been struggling this past month, but given, some of the issues, first of all, with the Crypto.com Visa, and then with the MMF drama, it has absolutely been a tough month for the Cronos chain. But do keep in mind that we are still sporting here about, like 10x growth in like a 5.5-6 month period, which is still absolutely surreal. And right now we are pretty much only back at levels that we were at in mid-March. So definitely a setback of about a month and a half. But in the grand scheme of things, the Cronos chain has really only been out for 6 months. And this definitely does show the strength and resilience of this platform. Now, I would not even be surprised if we did go ahead and retest this 2.5 billion level on the Cronos chain. However, I do see this chain only going upwards in the long run. And if you ever are scared of this drop off in TVL, just zoom out and remind yourself how far we have come in this 6-month period and how far we have to go. And with that said, I hope you guys did enjoy the content in today's video. I do think moving forward that we are going to continue, based on the community feedback, to go ahead and post these weekly market updates in 2 parts, with the first part being the general crypto market news and the second half being focused only on the Crow coin and Cronos specific news. And reason being is that I have noticed that with these longer videos, the viewers do tend to drop off. And really, guys, this is all very, very important information that I do want everyone to be taking in. So at least this way, if I split it up, you guys can pick and choose if you would like to watch both, if you would like to watch one or the other, and you don't have to sit through a bunch of other content that you may not want to listen to. So moving forward, this is how we are going to format the Sunday videos in 2 parts. Let me know in the comments down below if you are a fan of this change, as based on the feedback I've received so far, it would appear the majority of the community does want it done this way, but I would still love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. I always take your comments and feedback into consideration. And on that note, guys, once again, I just want to wish you all a happy Sunday and happy Mother's Day. Stop listening to my stupid voice. Go spend some time with your mother. Show her how much you love her. And if you yourself are a mother watching this video, you are a badass. You rock, and thank you for everything you do. So on that note, guys, I got plenty of work to do. I also would like to spend some time with my mother today, so I will catch you all in the next one. Peace out for now.